So we're going to begin sitting on your bum on the mat, just nice and tall and comfortable. And we'll inhale, raising both hands up over your head. And then exhale, dropping your right hand down by your side until your hand finds the floor and you can find a little bit of support. And then bending at that elbow, so you're maintaining length in your spine. We're going to reach your top arm over. So you kind of open up through the shoulder girdle and then roll that left shoulder blade back so your heart looks up towards the ceiling. Taking a breath, and then on the exhale, pushing off the floor to come back up to center. Both hands come up to the sky and we'll switch sides. Dropping your left hand down until your hand finds the floor, and then using that support so you can maintain the length in your spine. Bend at the elbow and reach that top arm over, and then rolling your right shoulder blade over left so your heart gets to look up towards the ceiling. Taking a deep breath. On the exhale, come back up to center. And then glitter fingers of sunshine, magic, rainbow, Friday happiness, come all the way down to the ground and we'll make your way onto your hands and knees. So with your hands underneath your shoulders and your feet, knees underneath your hips, we're going to come into cat and cow. So inhaling to look up, dropping your belly down to the floor. And then exhale, curving your spine up to the ceiling and scooping your chin towards your navel. So we're just going to go for a few passes up and down into cat and cow. Just linking movement with breath as we kind of warm up your spinal column. And get all the muscles in your transverse abdominis start working. Do one more. And then we'll all meet in a nice neutral spine. And pushing your heart away from the floor, we're going to reach your right arm out in front of you and push your left heel straight back away from you. And then taking in a deep breath, we're going to exhale, connecting elbow to knee. And then inhale to extend. We're going to go for 5 of these on each side. So exhaling to connect for 2. To extend. Connect for 3. To extend. Connect for 4. Extend. Connect for 5. One more time, reaching out, and then coming back onto all fours. Take a moment to resettle, and then reaching your left arm out in front of you, and pushing your right heel straight back away from you. Taking a deep breath, and then on the exhale, connect elbow to knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale to connect. Inhale to extend. Exhale to connect for 3. Extend. Connect for 4. Extend. And connecting for 5. Extend. And then coming back onto all fours. So from here we're going to bring your right hand behind your head. And we're going to bring your right elbow to your left elbow. And then open out to the side as far as you can. So we're doing a trunk rotation. So come back to connect. And then open out to the side. There's 2. You can do 3 more. Connect. Open up. 5. And then we'll come back down onto all fours and do the same thing on the other side. So maintain that length through your spine. Left hand comes behind your head. Bring your left elbow to your right elbow and then open out to the side as far as you can. So this is for shoulder mobility and spinal mobility. And we're going to go for 3 of these. Remember to keep breathing. And then the last one is 5. Great. So once we're all finished with those, we're going to come all the way onto your back. And we'll prepare for crunches. So feet can either be on the floor, or you can raise your feet up in the air, creating a little tabletop with your shins. They're both good options. Hands can go across your shoulders or behind your head. We're going to come up for 25 crunches. Start whenever you're ready. Just giving a big exhale as you come up for each one of the crunches. Try to maintain a good space between your chin and your chest. So it's your abs that are contracting to bring you up, and not your upper body creating momentum and kind of like pulling on your head to come up. You probably notice that at the top is when you get the most benefit out of the crunch. So by kind of holding for a moment at the top, we get that good contraction, makes the crunch a little bit more productive. And as you get close to 25, keep going strong all the way at the top. If you finish before me, you can stop and rest. 23, 24, and 25. Oh, those are good. So simple, yet so strong. All right, so we're going to bring your hands underneath your bum and straighten out your legs. And we're going to come for a set of 25 leg lifts. So raising your legs up until they're just shy of above your hips, and then lower them down until they're just above the floor. So going for 25 of these, try and link movement with breath. And if you want to make it a little bit harder, at the bottom, point your toes and just extend your legs a hair further. You're getting yourself as tall as you can on the floor. If your lower back starts to feel stress or tension, you can always bend your knees to reduce the range of motion. And it reduces the torque on your spine. But in general, you want to try and keep your legs as straight as can be. And as we get closer to 25, keep the attention on the form and the breath. Okay. Perfect. Let everyone finish up their sets. And then we're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee. So this can be your point A, or you can raise your left foot up off the floor too to make it a little bit harder. We're going to do figure 4 crunches. So these crunches go straight up and down. There's no twisting in the upper body. We're going to go 15 crunches on each side. Again, try and keep a space between your chin and your chest. And give a big exhale on the way up. Once you finish your set of 15, just switching legs and doing the same thing on the other side. Whichever variation of your legs works for you, works for you. But we're going to get that strong crunch. Again, so at the top is when you get the most benefit. So holding at the top for a moment. Cool. And once you finish your 15, you come all the way down. Just going to push out through the heels of your feet and the heels of your hands. Stretch out your abdominal wall. Taking a deep breath. Oh, yawn if you want to. Yeah, it's Friday morning. It's a good time to just kind of relax and do a whole bunch of crunches. So we're going to go back down to lower abs. So legs are going to go straight up in the air for a vertical hip raise. So hands go underneath your bums again. You're going to straighten up your legs right over your hips. And then you're just kind of kicking your butt up off the floor and then lowering it down as slowly as you can. We're going to do this 20 times. So going at your own pace, kicking up fast and then trying to lower down slow. But all the while, we're going to try and keep your hips directly underneath your feet, or feet directly over your hips. Once you finish up your set of those, stop, rest for a second, but just a quick second. Then we're going to straighten out both legs along the floor. You're going to raise both hands over your head, and we're going to do a single leg pike. So the way that kind of looks is you raise one leg up, reach for both hands, try and touch your toes, come all the way back down. We're going to go for 20 of these total, and these should be brick hard. So by the end of this, you're like, ugh, I don't like this, but just coming up, reaching for opposite toe, and switching sides. 18, 19, 20. Whew. Those are good. Everybody likes those. Even if you don't like them, after a long enough time, you start to like them. Okay, so once you're all done with those, we'll plant your heels on the floor so you can just about touch your heels with your fingertips. And with your feet about hip width apart, you're going to push off your heels, raising your hips up towards the ceiling until you feel a stretch in the front part of your hips, and then lower back down slowly. We're going to go for 20 hip raises, squeezing up as high as you can, and then lowering down. Again, try and link movement with breath. So exhale on the push-up. You're squeezing from hamstrings and butts. And 20. Cool. Once you're done with that set of 20, you're going to raise both feet up off the floor and connect elbows to knees. Right? So you got this good strong connection going on. From here, we're going to extend an arm and a leg out so it's parallel along the floor. Come back to center and then switching sides. We're going to go for 20 of these total. Trying to get good extension through the arm and the leg. $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20. Cool. Right, I'm going to take a little break from hard ab exercises and go back to mobility work. So whenever you're ready, we're going to hug both knees into your chest, give a little rock from side to side, and then we're going to straighten out your left leg along the floor. With your left hand, we're going to pull your right knee across your body into a spinal twist and reach both arms out to the sides. Okay? So with your left knuckles resting on the floor, we're going to bring your right arm all the way up towards the ceiling until your palms are touching. And then open your right arm back out to the side until your right knuckles find the floor. And then coming on back up to make that connection again. So just going through this range of motion 5 times on each side. Again, we're working on shoulder mobility and spinal mobility here, which falls in the category of core class because it's all part of your core. Transverse abdominis. Okay, one more time, opening on out. And then we'll come back onto your back again, hugging both knees into your chest. Give a little rock side to side, or roll around in a circle in my case. I'm going to straighten out your right leg along the floor. And with your right hand, pull your left knee across your body into a spinal twist. And reach your left arm out to the side until your knuckles find the floor. Bring your right arm out to the side. We're going to bring your left arm up to the ceiling until your palms touch on your right side. And then open back out. So it's the same thing on the other side. Go for 5 of these at your own pace. And we're working on just increasing the range of motion through your shoulder and through the middle of your spine. And 5. Cool, opening back up. And then whenever you're done with your set, we'll make it around to your back again. Hugging both knees into your chest. And then straightening on out. Arms and legs. So we're going to come into a set of butterfly crunches. So butterfly is where you open up your arms and legs and you're in like a big happy open shape, taking a deep breath, and then on the exhale, float all the way up until you're balancing on your bum and your hands are level with your knees, and then lower back down the same way that you came up. Okay, we're going to go for 5 of these, go at your own pace, taking a deep breath, and then on the exhale, squeezing strong through the core until you float up. And then lowering on back down, really slow and elegant, if possible. If not, it's not the worst thing in the world if it's kind of clumsy because you're at home. But it's not like everyone's watching, except for me. 4, 5. Cool. And then once you finish your set of 5, come all the way down. And we'll bring big toes together with your knees bent, kind of close to your bum. And from here, we'll drop both knees out to the sides. So the soles of your feet are together. Just pause for a moment, give a little rock side to side. Open up your hips. And then we're going to put one hand over the other. And we're going to drive both hands over your right knee to the center, and then over your left knee. Back to center, and then over your right knee. So we're going to go in like a 3-way little side-to-side action. We're going to go for 20 of these total. Start whenever you're ready. But it basically looks something like that. So we're getting a little twist every other one. And 14, 18, 19, 20. Cool. Once you're all done with those, we'll come onto your side. All right, so resting on your forearm, and on your side, we're going to come to a set of rib breaks. So with the arm that's doing the support on the floor, you want to keep your shoulder engaged. So you're never like collapsing. It's not like you're hanging out talking to friends, but shoulders engaged and do your own exercises. So we're going to hold a side plank, and your top hand is like a rake. We're going to rake underneath your ribs and then come all the way up with that hand over your shoulder. We're going to go for 10 of these on each side. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. Once you finish, we'll just switch sides and do 10 on the other side. So same deal, that shoulder is really strong and engaged. So as much of a core exercise, it's also a shoulder strengthening exercise. So just the top arm underneath, come all the way up. And all the while, you're keeping your hips up and level. Once you're all done with those, we'll come onto your bum. With your fingers facing away from you, we're going to come into a set of 20 crab kicks. So with your butt floating off the floor, and again, shoulders are really strong, so your heart's pulling up towards the ceiling. We're going to go for 20 crab kicks. So touching opposite toe. Once you're done with those guys, we're going to come all the way onto your belly. So we're going to do one more mobility exercise. So you can rest with your forehead on the floor, but I'll demonstrate the first one, and then you can kind of go about it. But arms start out in front of you. And you raise your arms up off the floor and sweep your hands back behind you until your knuckles rest on your lower back. Draw your elbows up towards each other, so you stretch through the front of your shoulder, lower them back down, and then swing both arms all the way around in front of you. And that counts as one. We're going to go for 5 of these. Go at your own pace, go with a range of motion that feels okay. Nothing should hurt here. It's all about just stretching that shoulder girdle. So I'll talk you through it again. Raising both hands up, sweeping your hands down until your knuckles rest on your lower back, palms are facing the ceiling. Draw your elbows towards each other, so you stretch through the shoulder, come on back down, sweep both hands back out in front. So there's 2, we're going to go for 3 more. So coming all the way up, hands find your lower back, draw your elbows back up towards each other. And there's 3. There's 4. There's 5. Cool. Once you're all done with those, we'll rest all the way back into child's pose for a moment, just to stretch out your lower back. Taking a few deep breaths. And when you're ready, we'll come forward onto your forearms and we'll hold a forearm plank. And we're going to hold this plank for 60 seconds. So we'll start in 4, 3, 2, 1. So trying to keep your hips level with the floor so your butt doesn't end up piking up towards the ceiling. And pushing out through the heels of your feet and the crown of your head. So you're making your body as long as you can. Inhale deeply and exhale completely. And as you exhale, think about tucking your belly button in towards your spine. So your core is staying nice and tight. And we're at 30 seconds right now. Nice, keep breathing strong. We got 15 more seconds. If it feels difficult, that's okay. It's meant to. Keep pushing your heart away from the floor so your shoulders are strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can come all the way down onto your belly. Rest for about 30 seconds, and we're going to do our last exercise of the day, which are going to be Supermans. Superman to cactus arms. So the way that kind of looks is hands are out in front of you. And you're going to float legs and arms up off the floor, so you're flying like Superman. Draw your elbows down by your ribs, sinking your shoulders away from your ears. Extend back out, and then lower back down slowly. We're going to go for 5 of these. Go at your own pace. Go with a range of motion that feels okay for you. And the object here is to strengthen that lower back and upper back. Once you finish your set of 5, we'll come all the way back into child's pose again. Stretching out your lower back. Pause for a moment there. Give a little rock side to side if it feels appropriate. And if you're really loving the child's pose stretch, you can stay there. If you're ready to keep going, we'll come onto your bum and back into a comfortable sitting position the way that we started the class. So we're just going to finish with a spinal rotation. So inhale, raising both hands up over your head, and we're going to twist your whole body to the right side. Bring your left hand down to your right knee and bring your right hand behind your lower back so you can kind of get support to get it really straight. As you inhale, your spine gets tall. As you exhale, twist to look over your right shoulder. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. Inhaling into a tall spine and then exhaling to twist. And then on the exhale, come back up to center, bringing both hands to the sky. We'll turn your whole body to the left. Bring your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind your lower back. Inhale into a straight spine, and then exhale to twist to look over your left shoulder. Again, holding for 3 breaths. As you inhale, your spine gets a little taller. As you exhale, twist just a little bit deeper. On the exhale, coming back up to center, both hands come to the sky. And again, glitter fingers of rainshine, sunshine, magical, happiness, unicorn, goodness. Happy, happy, happy Friday, happy end of summer. I hope everyone has a great weekend, a great Labor Day, and I hope to see everyone on Monday morning for full body.